through the end against Inverness, David, what were your main takeaways from the tie?
I thought it was a tough game. I thought we conceded soft goals, scored 2 good goals. Second half dominated the game really, without creating too much in terms of clear goal scoring opportunities, but we had a couple of opportunities. But I thought we deserved to go through. And fans will laugh at this one. Actually, quite happy we went through in penalties because it's not been one of our stronger points in the previous couple of seasons.
A goal and assist for Stevie May in a place in the Team of the Week. How big a role can he play this season?
When Stevie's came in, I think it was St Johnstone not too dissimilar to ourselves in terms of the Premier League's very, very hard and it's extremely difficult for strikers. So there's been a kind of adaptation of how I want to play, how we want to play this season. It's probably a wee bit different for how Stevie's been playing the previous maybe 6, 7, 8 seasons in his career. And that goes for everybody in the change room also. So I think there's been that wee element of Stevie, getting Stevie back to Stevie scoring goals in probably his first campaign at St Johnstone that got him the move to the bigger clubs. So it's getting Stevie back into playing that role opposed to kind of sitting in behind the game, running, chasing balls in channels, touching the ball 5, 6 times a game. So it was about re-coaching Stevie, letting him fit into how we want to play, our style of play. So he was one that I was actually going to take out on Saturday, but the reason we kept him in was basically to try and get him on the get him scoring goals, and he comes up with a great assist and a great goal, a left foot shot, and it's a great cross for Scott Pittman. So I was delighted for him because I think there's goals in Stevie May. We need Stevie May scoring goals, but it just took a wee bit of time for Stevie to adapt to style of play and obviously the opponents also.
Defensive reinforcements come in and Danny Wilson. What can you add to the squad, David?
Well, Danny had actually been in training with us maybe 3-4 weeks ago. I tried to sign Danny in January to help us out in the Premier League. One reason or another, he's obviously never got him. And I hadn't actually spoke to Danny, it was via the agent, but Danny gave me a phone 5 weeks ago, 5 weeks, 6 weeks ago, something like that. Danny Wilson, if you want to tell me, beep, I'm more than happy, beep, away you go. And then we had a wee bit of a laugh. I said, how can I help you? He said, look, I'm just looking for something. I'm a Livingston boy, just looking for something to try and keep fit. I think he had aspirations maybe to get himself back to the States. So he came in and trained, and then we seen how good a player Danny actually is, what he could bring to Livingston. But at that point, Danny was still kind of tying up a lot of loose ends in America. So, kept in touch with one another. We trained for a couple of weeks, kept in touch with one another, and obviously Sean Donlan went in for an operation, so Sean Donlan's a longer term. And Ben Jackson, we sent Ben back down to Brighton a couple of weeks ago. The initial assessment was a couple of weeks. Ben had already been out since roughly 15th of August, something along those lines. He hurt his cell in training and lead up to Dunfermline bounce game. So Brighton came back to his early doors last week and just said, look, we think it's going to be another 6 to 8 weeks. There's a kind of hairline fracture there, and that's on top of the 3 months he's already missed, give or take. So I think we were one injury away from maybe Michael Nottingham or Ryan McGowan. Leave us in a wee bit of bother. So I'd say I'd keep in touch with Danny, kept in touch with him. Danny came in on Sunday, met him at the stadium, 6 o'clock on Sunday. Had a wee chat for a couple of hours about football, didn't do any showing around the place and uni place, and Danny said, look, delighted to come in. He said from the outside looking in, he said Livingston, saying people talk about the work hard, the work hard, the work hard, the work hard. He said, but actually being in the building, coaching sessions, how he's look after the players on and off the park and the facilities that you've built at the club, he said is absolutely tremendous. He said, I'm delighted to be involved. So he was highly complimentary of the club for that short training period that he was in.
Some changes on Saturday that were enforced. How was the squad shaken off the weekend?
What one that you think talking about? Enforced. Jamie Brandon, sorry. Jamie Shinney dropping back in. Aye, so Jamie came off against Falkirk. We've been looking after Jamie, and Jamie wouldn't have played the Inverness game, whether he finished the Falkirk game or not. But I do believe we've got a really, really strong squad, and it's getting that balance between changing too much and not changing enough in terms of the Inverness game. Probably got it a wee bit tight there, if I'm honest, but we got through, and that's the most important thing. So Shins came in. Shins, when I brought Shins in, Shins can play 9, 7, 11, 6, 8, 10. Say a 10, don't really play a 10. But Shins dropped in there. Chris Montano came back in. Wide areas, wee Sammy, he's been doing really, really well for the reserves, like really well in that wide right. We've tried Sammy in 3 or 4 positions. He's been a 6, he's been an 8, he's been a right back, he's been a right winger. He's actually really, really versatile, because Sammy's strengths are 1v1s on and off the ball, so you can utilise them in different areas. So it was good to get wee Sammy game time. I think you've got to try and utilise the squad as much as possible, but the most important objective is getting through the next round, and we've done that.
It's the final game of the first quarter of the season. How do you assess the squad of Pope just in the league, David?
Difficult game to game. It's brought up different challenges every game. We've probably played, or we will have played by Saturday, 4 of the promotion favourites in terms of coming into the season away from home. So Partick, Falkirk, Race Rovers, and now going to Ayr United. They 4 were probably the ones that were getting touted for being in the top 4 with a real good chance of promotion. First 8 games, been okay. I think there's been games where I've dominated the ball. I think there's games it's a wee bit more transitional, and I've liked looking at Race away, Partick away, Falkirk away. I don't think we controlled the game in the manner that we went into the game, but most games at home have controlled a lot of the possession, dominated the ball and created some good chances. Got hit with a sucker punch against Morton, but I thought that was actually one of our better performances in terms of how we played, how we controlled the game. So a wee bit of a mixed bag, but I think it's still a group that's evolving and developing together. I had this conversation with someone, I think it was maybe Danny actually on Sunday, about how difficult it is coming off the back of the season previously, and then having to turn that around and change that environment and change the mindset within the building. So we've had to do that. It's testament to the players, testament to the staff, that somebody put a stat up last night. It was on Twitter, somebody screenshotted it to me, and we've lost 1 game in 15. 1 game in 15, if you're going back to it was the Hibs game.
Right,
the Hibs game, something like that. 1 game in 15, and if you look at that, it was an offside goal with Spartans. I think on one of the occasions they actually were in our box in that game. You look at that and the amount of clean sheets we had, hopefully the fans can see what we're trying to do. There's going to be dips in the road, of course there is. There's going to be bumps in the road, but I think that's testament to the players. We, as a group, we'd started trying to change how, at a certain part of the season last year, late on in the season, we knew we were going to be playing the championship. We knew we were going to have a group of maybe 50-60% of that group that was going to be involved this year. So we then started trying to change last year, at the end of last season, in terms of how we were going to try and play this season. And I think it's testament to the players that start, and I've not checked it, I don't really buy into it too much, but when I seen it last night, 1 in 15, I think that's huge credit to the players in the building. And the staff.
You're talking about the 1 in 15 of the day, but it's Herald Saturday. How tough a game is that going to be?
Well, I got sent that stat along with it was like a screenshot and something. I don't think we've been beat at home this year. I think that was kind of somebody sent me the screenshot. That was at the bottom of the screenshot with our stats. So it's going to be a difficult game. I went to the Hamilton game. They're very good at home. I think what you'll probably find in most teams this year are going to be stronger at home. And I think you could probably go through any league, and that's generally the case. But it's going to be a difficult game. One I'm looking forward to one that they're more than capable of winning. But Ayr United will be fancying themselves as well. Scott Brown's done a fantastic job, and they'll be up there or thereabouts come the end of the season. So it's going to be a difficult game of football.
There's finally a Scotland debut for Nicky Devlin. How does this journey sum up how much of a platform that Livingston can be?
I think somebody put, again, I get these, I'm not really on Twitter a lot, but people send you Nicky Devlin and London Knights in the same park. Look at that, two players, two Livingston players now on the park for Scotland. I went back, but you're forgetting about previously Gallagher London, Liam Kelly London. But you see Nicky, who was the club captain, spent time in London here. They had that season together, and a bit. To see Nicky come up to us, I seen his game really develop. I've got a great relationship with Nicky, made him the captain. Just delighted for him because he puts a lot of work into being a professional footballer. His family do. It's not just Nicky, support network round about Nicky, everything. Football consumes him as a group, which also then has that positive effect in Nicky via his mum, his dad, his partner. So I was just delighted to see him go on the park. I think the commentators were saying Wilson's struggling, and I'm sitting going, please. So Wilson went off a wee bit later than I liked. And Nicky comes on, makes his debut, and at that point I think just touch the ball, but he makes a fantastic block down to Craig Gordon's right hand post, and that's just Nicky Devlin. He wears his heart on his sleeve, he's got a great resilience, and hopefully he can be involved in the next squads. But if you go over maybe go back the last 6 years, the amount of players that have been involved in Scotland squads, most notably Linden probably at that point, but the amount of players that have been involved in Scotland squads from that group that took us to the Championship into the Premier League. There's about probably 4 or 5 players that are now involved in Scotland quite regular. There's another couple, Halkett and Decky, who have made squads and known squads that have been involved in the Scotland here. I think it's testament to the Livingston Football Club. And it's probably for a small provincial club, like a community club, we don't get enough credit for, but we've gave these boys the platforms. Hopefully we've helped develop and progress their career, and then when you turn the telly on and you're looking at London, you're looking at Nicky just as an example, you've had Liam Kelly, Decky, Halkett previously, you're watching them on the telly playing for our country. It's brilliant, but it's the players, those players came into the club, we gave them the opportunity, but those players came in with a certain mindset that's got them to the level they're at now. They've elevated their careers through their own dedication and sacrifices that they've made within football.
I think there's that mindset, Davey, of do you come and you relax or do you come and better yourself?
At Livingston, I think if you want to come and relax at Livingston, you'll know that's very long. That's King of my manager. You'll not be here. There's been boys over the years, and not every player you bring into the football club is going to work. Recruitment, there's a science behind it nearly. But there's no one recipe. If you keep doing that, you're going to get it right. Every player's different. Every player you sign and bring into the building, there's different dynamics involved. So it's the hardest part of football, or one of the hardest parts is your recruitment. Always say if you get more right than you get wrong, you're doing okay. But at a club like ours, when there's most years, let's be honest, you're losing your perceivably best players, and you've got to turn around roughly anywhere between 40 and 70% of your squad. It then makes recruitment extremely difficult because you're relying on the quantity then opposed to the quality, and you're going to get some wrong. It's me, I've spoken about this over the years at Livingston. When I speak about investment, it's part of the, I'm not just meaning investment in terms of give me more money for more players. You probably need to evolve in the modern game now, a scouting department. You're needing the best data analytics available to you. You're needing a head of football. You're needing a head of recruitment. To build that line, we're a good bit away from that. But that's how hard and how important recruitment's becoming now. I found that previous 2 years, I found that slow. It was difficult to get a player the quality needed in with the finances available. Do you know what I mean? So it is a difficult part. This year, believe it or not, stepping back down to the champ, it actually opens up a different market for you. You're now looking at, you can, players for League One, the National League South, National League North. And when I say League One, I mean Scottish League One. Whereas previously you probably weren't looking at Scottish League One for the Premier League in England, in Scotland. You probably were, you were trying to get the best players in the champ, but you could never afford the best players in the champ. So the ones that were open to you probably didn't have that point of quality you needed to play in the Premier League every week for you. But now we drop down to the champ, it's kind of, it's no made recruitment easier. It's made the, how do I put it? It's made the recruitment, it's opened up different markets for us as a football club to try and then go and get that correct, and it's probably opened up the lower levels of Scottish football for the Scottish champ. And I've been surprised at the level in the Scottish champ, some very, very good players that could make a step up.